the face. Your words are sinking down, down in my chest. What are you thinking? I don't know you anymore. We're alone now, now. And before you go, just turn off the lights. Just turn off the lights. Just turn off the lights. I don't know you anymore. We're alone now, now. And before you go, just
Hello, hey guys, 1 second. Correct. So my computer's been acting weird lately and it set all my settings back to default. I am currently fixing OBS's settings right now because it too got reset back to default. All fun. All fun. Alright,
That's fun.
we should be
That's
here.
fun.
We should be good now. Hello Rune, how you doing? So, welcome back
Hey
everybody.
ho, hey ho.
Today we are not only going to go over some of the stuff that VR Chat has in store for us, but we're also going to be interviewing Club 24's own Talux, who we have discovered is a Unity wizard. There's not much about Unity. This guy doesn't know about. I think Unity is pretty much his job. And
Yeah, it is. So
we've got some exciting news from him about stuff that's going to affect avatar creation, and as well as his future plans to make all of that a lot easier. So, let's go ahead and actually dive right into the first thing that we want to talk about today is Talix developing a toggle creator for Unity. As far as I understand, it's supposed to be pretty like simple. Even a baby could do it. You just go in there, make a toggle, poof, boom, 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 it's there, rather than going through the continuous tedious
Yep.
process. Yes. So explain to us more about that.
yes. So the one of the tedious processes, and this is one of the many tedious processes that VRChat currently has, is creating toggles in good ways. And like everybody has a different way for it. Even if you look up stuff for it, you find tutorials that contradict each other. So it's and for us as like in the development area of Unity and stuff, we have what we do for that kind of stuff is we create tools. So I've made a little tool that basically can create toggles in a very easy and very like user-friendly way, basically by just dragging and dropping your things in that you want to be in there, naming it, and clicking done, basically, and then it will do it automatically and be done with it. And then afterwards, you can change it if you want to change stuff with it.
So, from my experience, taking a look at what you've done in calls and taking a look at the different aspects of it, what you can do with it, ladies and gentlemen, is you can, if you know how to create a sub menu within your menu, you can go ahead and already do that. Yeah, Talix is actually kind of loud. I'm gonna try to turn him down just a bit, and I'll try to turn myself up. Talix has got a better mic setup than I do, so you know he's gonna be loud. So yeah, basically what this program is able to do, if you create a menu and a sub menu where you want to put your toggle, you can go ahead and assign where you want that toggle to be. So now you've got this sub menu set up. You can go ahead and say, okay, I want this toggle to be in this menu and name it this, and it'll go ahead and make the on and off toggle for you. And you still can go back and sort of arrange how that toggle works. So say you've created a toggle but you want to make it dissolve, then you can go in there and of course make it dissolve without having to redo the entire toggle.
Yep.
So
That's basically it.
now this isn't going to be a monetized thing as far as we know. It's going to be completely free to anyone who wants to use it. So avatar creators out there, if you want to skip the tedious process of making toggles and definitely start making, you know, your entire job a lot easier, Talux has got you, coming out very soon. But that's not the only project that Talux is working on. He's got a couple of other things. So how about you go ahead and give us a rundown about that?
So there's a couple other tedious processes. I'm looking into making Avatar publication a little bit easier, making even some security stuff that we know is problematic within VRChat, helping with that out. Some other stuff that I'm thinking about doing is also doing some stuff for world development. And for world development, we also have a couple of issues, mainly performance-wise, that a lot of worlds have performance issues with. That I also want to make tools to make it easier with, and see where the issues are coming from. So that kind of stuff is coming up in upcoming months to a year, probably.
Ooh. So can you give us an idea of what you want to try to make easier in the world creation process? Like, what's your vision, your goal there?
Just one, like giving more information, because what VRChat does from performance-wise, it just gives a little bit of pointers to how to performance optimize and do that kind of stuff. I want to go even deeper in that, like say like, hey, create occlusion colliders, create all the rest of the stuff. Like it's very in-depth stuff. But like for example, also mesh merging is maybe one thing I'm gonna look into. Maybe looking into renderers and how to more easily detect if there's one enabled, and how to do that kind of stuff more easily, be able to set up the occlusion coloring and making sure that your rooms are occluded, so that if you have one room and one spot and another room next to it, that other room is not, when you're in that other room, that the other room is not visible in any way, shape or form, and not gonna take up any performance. Like that kind of stuff, maybe making some tools for that would be nice.
Yeah, because if you're already like in a world and everything is already like rendered, everything is rendered, everything is there, it would be a lot better if you left a place, it would sort of de-render itself, kind of like how, you know, a lot of video games work. If you're not in the area, it doesn't render it full-fledged as always, in order to help the performance of the game. Same thing, same concept in VRChat worlds. Make it to where it'll be a bit easier to de-render a room, so whatever place that you're actually in will perform a lot better than if having everything there rendered straight up is there. So so far we've if you're just joining us, we've talked about Talix's Toggle Creator, where he does this small little program or package that you can bring into Unity and create easy toggles rather than going through the whole tedious process. It's just I want this toggle to be here under this menu, name it, done, boom. And we also have we've also talked about how he wants to try to help make worlds a bit more optimized by de-rendering certain areas that you're not in. So that's Talix in a nutshell right there. You know, a Unity wizard who is basically his job to work in Unity and he's working on creating very, very quality of life type things for us. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, exactly, Rune. Basically, a bunch of quality of life type plugins. 1 second. Excuse me. And it's gonna be stupendous. Stuff like that's gonna be great. I wouldn't be surprised if Talox gets a big sum of money from the creator economy, so to speak.
Hopefully we'll be a little bit.
Speaking of the creator economy, we will be talking about that as well. I'm over here at my teleprompter taking a look at the different things we're going to be talking about. One of the first things that we're going to be talking about first, though, is upcoming features that have yet to be released, but we want to kind of rehype them for VR chat. The first one being the UI screen. When you bring up your menu on screen, you tap your button, you got your whole menu set up of things there. That's going to be changing very soon. So what they're going to be doing to it is kind of making it very simple to run through, being able to give you news updates on the banner, and it actually makes sense. Most commonly used stuff, of course, on the front. Bunch of different features. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the short video that VRChat devs have provided us, and we're actually going to have Talox here make a few comments on them. So guys, we will see you back here in just a moment.
This is the new quick menu that's coming as part of the UI 1.5 update. I'm going to give a short walkthrough of all the main areas of the new quick menu. As you can see, we gave everything a fresh coat of paint, we added some icons, and made everything much more reactive when you hover over it. The Launchpad contains the most commonly used actions and destinations, as well as an area for banners at the top. We can use this area to let you know when a new build is released, or upcoming features, or events that are coming soon. But it can be more than banners. We can serve you entire articles to help onboard new users, or go to an event just by clicking on the banner. We can automatically take you to the first open instance of that event. Pretty cool. Next, we have the Notifications tab, which you're already pretty familiar with. Then we have all of the camera actions. The Here tab contains information about the current instance that you're in, such as all the users in the instance with you. And you could click on a user to send a friend request, or report, or block, or do a number of other things as well. Then we have the Settings menu, which combines the UI Elements menu from the current quick menu along with the debug information. And we have the Audio Settings menu. I can change my current mic, I can change my mic volume, and I can adjust several other volume settings from here instead of having to go to the main menu to do it. Another new addition to the quick menu is the concept of wings. We know that different people use VRChat in different ways, so we wanted a real simple way for you to choose which information you saw on the quick menu, and that's where wings come in. You can see we have a right wing and a left wing. Clicking it brings out a list of different types of wings that I can show. And at launch, we're going to have 4, starting with the avatar wing. This contains a list of all your avatars, and you can switch avatars at a button click. Next is emotes. Next, we have your friends list. I can sort this by name, I can sort it by status, and I can sort it by location. This is something that's been in the website for a long time, and we're super excited to finally be able to bring it to the proper UI. And then finally, we have the profile wing. Now I can have a wing up on the right, and I can have a wing up on the left. But if I don't want to see this information right now, with a single button click, I can pop the wings in. And then when I need that info again, I can pop them right back out. And it maintains the space. Easy peasy.
Welcome back, everybody. So you have seen the new UI changes coming to a VR chat, and for a moment, I'm going to have Talix take over the show just a little bit and explain to you pretty much the essentials of what that's going to be able to help in quality of life type scenarios. Um, the stuff behind it, why they're doing stuff like that. Because I have been asked by my lovely roommates on the outside to go help bring in some groceries in the middle of my stream. It's not VRC news until we have something fuck up on the show. You guys know how it is. So when I return and he's done explaining all that, we're actually going to be getting into the next topic, avatar dynamics. And Talix is going to have a lot to say about that, so just give me a moment and I will return. Whee!
So a little bit about the new UI. So one thing first is a release date. What they're gonna do with it is they're gonna release it in steps. So they've already been releasing it slowly. I think one of the changes that came with that is the new UI stuff above your head and also in the panel the bell icon. That was one of the changes that they did for that. What is also like mainly the thing, and they also said it in the video, is the wings on the side. They can customize to your own liking for if you want to go to things or do other stuff with it. It's one of the main parts of the UI update, and it's all coming so soon. Yeah, and then just general quality of life. I mean, the UI it still says on the side early access because the entire game is still early access, but it's just nice to see that they finally gonna improve the UI because it's full time overdue, to be honest. Full time overdue. I mean, you can't really go to VRC without having problems. Let's see. Yeah, there was a quick menu before. Like, if you press the B button, I think it's on most controllers, or the X button, like you can pop open a quick menu. Like you can't see it here, but I have a little menu in front of me which has like all the main buttons to the, like for example, worlds, avatar, social, safety, going home instantly, calibrating, and that kind of stuff. It is all in this menu basically. So we have the quick menu already. It's just a very major UI update that's gonna happen to it. This was questioned by Rune. The main menu is if you click through. So you have the pop-up, and then if you click the actual button, like which I cannot do at the moment because I have thingy open. Data. Then you have an actual panel that opens up in front of you with gallery, worlds, avatar, social on the top, and everything on the top, and then you can click on those panels and do everything. That is the main menu, and then the quick menu is the one that you have in your hands, basically. So that's the two big differences there. I mean, one of the nicest features also is that world developers will be able to have their own tab and also customize the tab and the look of that menu to their own liking. That is upcoming for us. For world developers, that is one of the nice things that is upcoming. Be able to change that UI to more fit the world, and also have a separate space for putting in settings or putting in other stuff. So that is two things that are coming. And it's very nice to have.
And I can see somebody has clicking on the yeah button, so here we go. And welcome.
Is there anything else new that they didn't talk about in the video? Maybe a good question is like, for example, what do you guys want to see in like one of the wings? Like we have, for example, the player stuff that is coming in there. We have the world stuff that is coming in there that you can easily select the world. What other stuff would you guys want to see? This is actually a good question. What you guys would want to see there?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hi. How you doing? I'm back. I had to bring in some. I had to bring in some water. My roommates are a bit of the elderly variety, and they can't very much carry big things, so they usually ask me to help with that. And my roommate's family was there too, and they wanted to pull me aside and thank me for taking the COVID positive person to the hospital when there was shortness of breath, cold sweat, starting to have kidney failure. It was at 5 a.m. in the morning. I had to drive them all the way up to the hospital on the other side of the city. So they wanted to express their gratitude for that, and I'm like, you know what? I have a roof over my head. That's pretty thanks enough, you know? I'm cool. I'm cool with just that. You guys don't have to thank me or throw me a big banquet or nothing like that. I'm just happy to, live. But so Talux has been talking with you guys about the UI menu, how everything works. Rune, there's nothing actually wrong with the world. The world that he's created for us was, of course, made in SketchUp, run through Unity, and then put into Blender to make it all one material. So it's a very small, compact world. Talox could, do the same as well without the SketchUp, but, we don't talk about that. Clever Mammal, thank you very much for this VRC news world. The only complaint I have is that every seat still has a collider. If you could fix that, it'd be great. Oh, yes. Cat Cool would like to have her laptop back on the news desk as well, so she can look up hentai while we're working. So, moving on from the UI subject for now, there's not much to talk about concerning that, considering that, it pretty much explains itself, but I had to give Talok something to talk about while I went and took care of the house. Got to make sure that that's taken care of. IRL comes first, always. The next things we're going to talk about is avatar dynamics. Now, one of the main things about avatar dynamics is that you can, of course, turn on and off permissions with it to let people, control parts of your Avi. But we do have a dev video on that. We're going to go through that real quick, and then we'll get Talex's thoughts on the different things that it could be used for and the things that it actually is for. I actually took this question out when the $80 million video came out. VRC got their sponsorship, secured $80 million to start improving their stuff. And the main thing that I got from all you horny bastards out there was that you could use it for ERP. No. Can we not have some wholesome answers? So we're going to discuss right after this video the things that we actually can do with avatar dynamics. So guys, fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight, and we'll let the VRC devs take over from here. We'll see you guys in just a second.
This is the new quick menu that's coming as part of the UI 1.5.
Hi, welcome to VRChat Dev Labs. We at VRChat have been hard at work on some very interesting avatar tech that we'd like to show you. We call that avatar dynamics. Our avatar dynamics does a whole bunch of things that the community has really been wanting to see for a long time. Specifically, avatar-to-avatar interaction, being able to do things like touching yourself or touching other people.
So here's some other fun stuff you can do. You know, you can grab and stretch characters, and then you can leave them in position.
Ah, hello.
You can, like, here you go, like smash his nose down. There you go.
I don't know that is.
Yeah, so same thing with his ears, and you can pin your ears back. Hang on. There you go. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. We've had a ton of fun in the lab, basically, like playing around with this. And we, you know, something we've wanted to do for a really long time. We know it's like one of the #1 suggested things for VR chat from our community. And, you know, once we open the box of goodies, like we've just gone really far with it. And I think, you know, they were just showing you the tip of the iceberg here, some of the things we're considering doing. You know, I can grab my hair and, you know, pin it up. If we go around here, check out his tail too. Here, let me grab your tail. Grab your tail. There you go. There you go. Nice new tail pose for you.
So yeah, to give you a sort of inside look into what's going on here, you can see the avatar little debug menu that we have built in here, where you can see all the colliders in game. This has been really critical to us, but we also think will help avatar developers when working with their specific avatars. So some really interesting features that we actually have going on here is we've completely rewritten the math of how this works, and we've paid special attention to get some really interesting dynamics going on that you really couldn't achieve with our previous system. Here you have full ability to actually animate it while it's being physical, which is, I think, something that people will quite enjoy. So one of the more tedious tasks with building avatars that people always had to do with our previous system is that you had to define all of your hand colliders on the avatar itself. Here we've actually implemented the colliders on the hand automatically for any avatar that gets loaded. This allows anyone to interact with any other avatar that might have triggers, such as like a hand collider or a boop collider.
I do this.
So here's an example of an SDK2 avatar, and our system is actually building the avatar colliders right onto the hand. This allows this avatar to interact with any avatar that might have sort of triggers on itself. This would also allow an avatar like this to end up interacting with it, even though it was never built for that. I think that this will open up a wide range of possibilities of people interacting with each other that wasn't possible before.
So obviously all this stuff is pretty cool, you know, but you don't want someone just, you know, grabbing your mouth and pulling it down without you, you know, wanting them to do that, or repositioning your hair, or high-fiving by accident. So there is going to be a permission system that works alongside this. We're not ready to get into that yet, but we will in the near future.
Okie day, welcome back everybody. That was the VRC Dev Labs video for Avatar Dynamics. So, yes, Rune, I see the ERP potential. We're not going to talk about that, can we not? Instead of like talking about, what you could do concerning that, calling your significant other, your good little boy or girl. We're going to move on from that and talk about what more this could how this could benefit VR chat. So in VR chat, of course, everyone knows that dynamic bones is of course a big must in order to create a lot of stuff in avatars. However, the big downside with dynamic bones that we have found out, since we're part of club worlds, is that they create a lot of lag. If you've ever been to FBT heaven or a black cat and there's a bunch of unoptimized avatars there, very poor quality, and they have a lot of moving parts. It's because of the dynamic bones, and if you look at them, you'll lag out a bit, lose a lot of frames. But if you go into your menu and limit your dynamic bones, you'll see that everything in the world works perfectly fine. Avatar Dynamics is actually going to target that and work 10 times faster, reduce a lot of that lag, and help everything run a lot smoother. Now, let's go ahead and try to get into more of what else Avatar Dynamics can do that I personally cannot explain, but that's what we brought Talix on the set for. So, Talix, your thoughts on Avatar Dynamics?
So Avatar Dynamics is like literally what it will hopefully be is the replacement of dynamic bones. Like they've literally said in the past with that it should practically replace everything that the dynamic bones can do, like ears, colliders for the ears, moving them around, doing that. That is like one of the main things that they wanted to do, because currently dynamic bones is single-threaded, running on the main thread of Unity. Hella slow. This is hella slow. They've moved it over from that to bursts. And burst is basically a multi-core system which you can just say, okay, I want this process to spread its load out over multiple cores and then just run it. And this is why they have like around the 10 times performance increase. It's mainly because of that technology that is introduced in 2019. And this is also the main thing why they wanted to update to that, because it got it introduced in here. Also, stuff that you can do with with the new dynamic system basically is animations plus like movement. So, for example, if somebody is, for example, playing with my ears, because now other people can then be playing around with your ears, right? What can happen now if, for example, if you have a twitch animation on your ear, that can work together with the person playing with your ear or with your head. That is like one of the things that will be able to work together in many ways, shapes, and forms. And this is one of the big things I think will be appreciated, that we can have actual animations on the stuff that is also moving in a sense. Though there are some stuff that it can't replace. For example, cloth. Cloth is not going to be used for that. Like, people are already using dynamic bones for cloth, but that's not what it should be used for. Cloth is cloth.
Cloth is cloth, yes. So yeah, cloth actually is already a sort of animation set on its own. It's already been introduced. It's a little heavier than dynamic bones. So if you're wanting to run something that looks like an actual piece of cloth, cloth, of course, will still be prevalent. To sum up some of what Talix said, not only, Rune, is it for player-to-player interaction, but dynamic bones only works on a single core of your processor, of your computer processor, your CPU. What that means is that it's limited to only that. So say you're running an i9 core processor, right? You figure everything should be able to work a lot better. Well, Dynamic Bones only works on a single core of that. With Avatar Dynamics, it'll be able to run on more cores of that, so therefore it won't act like it's running on a trash computer, therefore allowing that process to be, of course, less laggy.
And also, Dynamic Bones currently does not have interaction with other people. So, for example, if I want to touch Catcool's hair or like ears, I wouldn't be able to move them. Like there is no interaction here at all. While with the new system, that is actually possible. Like they will generate colliders in there, and you will be able to move the ears around. As like one of the major things that you will be able to do if permissions allow it, at least between the two people.
Now, we do have colliders as it stands now, and be able to, you know, stick your hand up there and just kind of play around with it. But, of course, as you saw in the video with Avatar Dynamics, you'll actually be able to grab somebody's ear and just whee. Now, how that's going to affect something like the DPS, well, we're not going to talk about that here.
Nope.
So, moving...
And to be honest, it won't.
Okay, yeah, that's all you guys need to know. It won't. You heard it here. Talek said it. Moving on. So, the next thing that we're going to talk about real quick is... well, before we... You know what? We're actually going to bring up another topic really quick, because I know you're probably dying to talk about this one, and then we can get into our last topic. See, our last topic will be the creator economy, but one of the things that affects the creator economy is, of course, everything we've talked about, and the next thing, world persistence and avatar persistence. Now,
Yes.
in case you guys don't know what that means, world persistence will allow you to save the spot that you are in the world, as well as, you know, certain stats and stuff like that. Avatar persistence will be able to save the things that have happened to your avatar in that world. So think like a normal video game. You know, if VRC were to be turned into an MMORPG, then what would happen is you would be able to save exactly where you're at, the stats that you have, the weapons that are on your character, with an inventory system all set up. That's the basic concept of it, but Talek is going to go into a bit more detail about the things that could be done with world persistence and avatar persistence.
So, and to get into more the nitty-gritty of it, so basically what world persistence will do is you will be able to create a game save, a save file basically in a world, and be able to say like, okay, the state of this world, so every object that is in a specific position, everything like that, you can save that all to a save file. So just like you're saving in any other game that like all your progress is saved, you will be able to do that, and then have that, and then load that save basically on another time, and play with that save, or join, let your friends join in, and they will be able to play with that current progress. Then on the other hand, player persistence is save data that world creators can create for people themselves. So for example, avatar stats, your health, things like that are saved per player in a convenient way. So those are those two different sections. World persistence will definitely help for us for saving data and doing stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking of a couple of worlds. Like now, for example, with the jams, the obstacle course jams, we had a lot of people that like you need to basically run the entire thing in one go. While if we have world persistence, you can put in checkpoints, and then you can actually restart, like shut down VR chat, restart, rejoin the world, and be at the actual checkpoint that you were at. And that's the main idea on how to use it and what it is for. And they made it in depth enough to basically make MMOs within VR chat.
Which is something I'm definitely looking for, because I want to be able to do that. Yeah, position persistence isn't like automatically a thing, but you know, every developer would probably have to program that. But if it's already integrated into VR chat, I don't think like when you create a world you would have to program it. It would just have a tool for it, right?
Yeah, you can easily create a tool for it, or have something in the similar ways to be able to get that data out and get that data in. They already talked about the backend stuff and how that would work, and like for example with the new network update that they've done like 2 months ago, I think it is now. It's also gonna be incorporating in that specific part. So like the late joining update that they did and all the networking stuff that they did in there. It was basically in an early part of that they've already said that it would work with. So it's very in-depth stuff. So I'm not really gonna go into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah,
It's
we could
complicated as hell.
we could probably get into that at probably a later point in time when we have a better understanding of it. It actually comes out on VR chat, and we'll be able to take a closer look at how the VRC devs have done that. So, just a quick recap before we get into our final subject. Talux is going to be creating a toggle creator, of course. That's going to make creating avatars quite a bit easier. He's also working on creating quality of life stuff for world building as well, so therefore you can render different parts of the world and de-render other parts of the world that nobody's in on a player-to-player basis, so everything runs a bit smoother. We have gone over the UI menu system and how it'll make everything a bit easier to navigate, why they're doing stuff that way. We've gone over avatar dynamics, how it's not just player-to-player interaction, but can also work on a multi-core system as opposed to dynamic bones, which is a single core. What that means is dynamic bones only works on one core of your CPU, causing it to be the thing that lags you out the most in worlds. But with Avatar Dynamics, it can work on a multi-core system, and it'll be much faster and will not lag out. So you can go into a world full of people with a bunch of moving parts, and you won't lose frames. Very nice. Well, we've gone over world persistence and player persistence in worlds, which will pretty much allow you to go ahead and do things such as create MMOs or full-on adventures games or RPG games in VR chat, which is going to be fucking awesome. Excuse me.
I'm looking forward to it.
VRC groups is going to be another thing. We're going to talk briefly about that. It's pretty much going to be the exact same as, you know, what your Discord server would be, but it will be managed and handled within VR chat, so you'll be able to join up with different groups. There's a lot of communities here, such as the Lolly Police, Club Zodiac, Club 24, of course. Different role-playing communities as well. The laser tag community, which is, you know, pretty cool actually. And these people will be able to put themselves in groups, and you'll be able to see. It'll be kind of like clans for like if you were to play like a normal MMO RPG, and you'll be able to see what groups that somebody is a part of, and if you're interested in it, you can ask that person about getting in with that group, and it could lead down to new types of relationships that you could have in VRC, new friendships, and you might even find a lover, who knows.
We wish.
So that's going to be the basic concept for VRC groups, but all of these things will come together in the creator's economy. Like all of these things are pretty much end goal to that, and the creator's economy, basically put, would be kind of like the Patreon or Gumroad VRC. So combining those two things together. And pretty much being able to do it through VRC rather than having to go to an external source. So Talix is going to tell us a bit more about how that actually works.
So, one of the reasons that, for example, VRChat has been pushing on getting the VRC Plus and also the Oculus part of that out as quickly as possible is because they wanted the economy to currently work with subscriptions, and that's the main part. So you have VRC subscriptions, but you now also will be able to subscribe basically to somebody. So it will be user subscriptions. This will be like, for example, if you have a world and you're having some extra stuff in there that you do not want, like for example, have access to by a normal person, you could have a subscription on your player saying like, hey, if you join, give me the money for the subscription, and then like pay monthly basically. You will be able to access you will probably be assigned a group. That's what they were kind of enticing, that you will be assigned a group and then will be able to access that kind of content via that system basically. Because groups also have incorporation with rules. But also, for example, what will happen is that, for example, if you subscribe to a user, that you will be able to subscribe to like, hey, create an avatar for me, and then you will be able to put in a group, and that group will enable that AV for that player. So this is one thing that also will happen, and is provided. The same thing will also be done for entertainers in any way, shape, or form. So, for example, for clubs, for DJs, for other stuff, they will be able to create events and, for example, have paid events or things like that, or supporters for events that will be able to access other parts of the map or listen to other stuff or do other stuff in the worlds. So that all is coming up, and it's one big pile of stuff coming together within the creator economy, and this is why they are all doing this kind of stuff, because it all comes really nicely together for creators and for people in that variety.
So, if you're a creator of VRC anything, and you want people to be able to support what you do and such like that, then the creator economy is for you. So I'm pretty sure the black places like the Black Cat will definitely get a lot of donations. If you're looking for like avatar creators to be able to get into their little vault of stuff, you can do it within VR chat as opposed to having to go off to a place like Gumroad and get it there. I know we're all used to that, and you know what, that's perfectly fine. You know, if they want to continue to set stuff up on separate platforms, that's good, but VRC is looking to try and streamline everything that everyone does in this game into just one simple way to do it all, encompassing it all into one place. And you know what, I think that's pretty cool. Should definitely look forward to that. And most of the stuff that we've talked about is actually coming this year. So by the end of the year, we should definitely see some new things coming out. But I would say probably close toward the summer of 2022. We should definitely see how all of these things are implemented together and used in the many variety of ways that they can be. That includes you naughty fucks out there thinking about avatar dynamics and what you can do with that. Stop. So, to round this up, there's two things that I'm going to go ahead and ask. One is, Kat, do you have any questions for our dear guest?
No.
No, nothing you want to say? How about to our audience? You want to give them an ada for us? That one's for you guys. Respect. So the last thing that we're going to ask of you, Talix, is there anything that you would like to see in the future that's not on the roadmap, or do you have any other plans or ideas?
About tools from VRChat out for world/avatar creation more in depth. I know that there are some tools coming, but in my opinion, what they've shown is not enough.
it won't be enough, definitely. I hope it will be, but I don't think it will be. So maybe on that front a little bit more, that part, and maybe even the allowance of soft mods. That might be a thing that they also need to take a look into, of client-sided, purely client-sided modding. That might also bring forth a good chunk of stuff for us.
I mean, we already have some client-side stuff, but I think what he's trying to say is allowing some of it in order to see what more can be done in the realm of client modding to try to help improve the game, or maybe different clients made by VRC in order to do different things. Whether, you know, it could be monetized, that's fine, whatever. But
Whatever, but
quality of life type
maybe
stuff, you
those
know.
yeah, mainly quality of life does so, both for development and also for just slaying the game.
There we go.
It's mainly what we need to see.
Well, guys, we are going to go ahead and end it here. Talox, thank you for attending this interview with us and explaining more about what's coming on VRC. It's much appreciated of you, and we'll talk about that particle toggle later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to let Talox go. There are plenty of different places that you can visit tonight. Club 24 normally runs on Wednesdays, but Galathonian Empire and Rabbit Hole will be having events tonight. Make sure you join up on those discords. And oh yeah, Moxie too. We haven't partnered with them, and maybe I should talk to Savage about that. So yeah, definitely a lot of club events going on tonight if you're looking to get into that, and of course you are of the age to join said events. We definitely recommend going to Moxie, Galathonian Empire, Club Rabbit Hole. All of these places are really nice places. But for now, that will do it. Thank you very much, Talix. This will be Destiny and Cat Cool signing off, and you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye.